Right, Rabbi Say, Simon Tov Pei Zayin, Hilchos Pesach, page Tzadi Beis. Tov Pei Zayin, Seder Tfilas Arvis Shel Pesach, the order of davening Mariv on Pesach, Sif Aleph. Seder Yom, this is the order of Tfilah, Arvis, Shachris, Mincha. And in all of those, Omer Shalosh Rishonos, Shalosh Achronos, Kedushas Hayom Be'emtza. All the Yontav davening on Pesach is 3 Rishonos, 3 brachos at the beginning of Shemona Esrei, 3 Achronos, 3 brachos at the end of Shemona Esrei. Like every Shemona Esrei has got 3 at the beginning, 3 at the end. Just normally, a normal Shemona Esrei has also got in between 13 brachos. And on Yom Tov, and similarly Shabbos, there's only 1 bracha. Obviously, with the exception of Rosh Hashanah, where there's during Musaf, there's Malchus, Tichonis, and Shifanis. This middle bracha is called Kedushas Hayom. Has Atav V'chartonu, Atitin Lanu, Ya'alav Yavai, and V'hasiyenu. That's a standard tefillah, and of course Musaf has additional parts of the Shemona Esrei, which has got parts to do with the korbanos. That's the principle: 3 Rishonos, 3 Achronos, and the special Yontav tefillah, Yontav bracha in the middle. Atav V'chartonu, Atitin Lanu, Hashem Elokeinu, Yom Chag Hasmatzos Hazeh, Es Yom Tov Mikra Kodesh. We have a slightly different nusach. Hazeh, Ein Kamon Simon Tov Tzadi Sif Gimel, as we turn the page. Zman Chedoseinu, Ya'alav Yavai, V'hasiyenu, V'chosin Baruch Mekadesh Yisrael V'hazmanim. That is the standard middle bracha. Let's look at the Mishnah Brura on that. Sif Cotton Aleph, Es Yom Tov, V'chulu. Our minig is to say Sim Hagamat, we don't need to add the word Ba'ava at that point. Av was already discussed with regard to Yom Tov, but Shabbos, when Yom Tov falls on Shabbos, we do add in an Ava. Some say Ba'ava, we add in the word Ava. As the Levush explains, on Shabbos, the Klal Yisrael accepted Shabbos for Matan Torah, and they accepted without being forced. Kof Aleim Hakagigis, there was no mountain ahead over their heads saying, if you keep the Torah good, if Nam Shomteit Kuraschem, and otherwise this is where you'll be buried. But that wasn't applicable for Shabbos, because they accepted the Ava with love before Matan Torah. Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. The Yom Tov bracha concludes Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. The Imam, if a person said Mekadesh Yisrael by itself, levad le'yotza, he must conclude Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. V'chein b'Shabbos, similarly on Shabbos. In Lo Yom Mekadesh HaShabbos, if a person didn't finish off the special Shabbos bracha, middle bracha Mekadesh HaShabbos, when he said Mekadesh Yisrael, Gamkein le'yotza. After his kibbutz to finish on Shabbos, although during the bracha itself he mentioned Shabbos, etc. Shabbos, the conclusion Baruch Atah Hashem has to mention Shabbos. If it's Shabbos, it has to be Mekadesh Shabbos. V'chol bein b'kiddusha bein b'tzelusa, both when it says kiddush and when one davens. And you should point out from various poskim, Rabbi Yashav and Chashayim say also for Hadlok Saneris, when the bracha is a Shabbos, it must be concluded and Mekadesh Shabbos, or for that Hadlok Saneris, candle lighting, it's the Hadlik Ner Shel Shabbos. The Baruch Atah Hashem element must be said properly. And for Yom Tov also, like the Shulchan Aruch says, one has to say Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim if it is a Yom Tov, the Yom Tov bracha. Says the Shulchan Aruch weiter, 2 lines down. If a person said Mekadesh HaShabbos, because it's most frequent is Mekadesh HaShabbos, and often a person can make this mistake. The Yom Tov finishes off Mekadesh HaShabbos, and then he remembers immediately, it's Yom Tov. And he corrected himself. Immediately, he said Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. Again, he went as far as Mekadesh HaShabbos, Mekadesh Yisrael v'Hazmanim. So he said that Toich Dibur, which is within a time period of saying 3 words. Yotza, he has fulfilled his mitzvahs bracha, because he knows it's Yom Tov, and he just made a slip of the tongue, and he caught himself immediately within Toich Dibur, so that is okay. Mishnah Brura, Sif Cotton, Gimel, Daled, and Hey. Sif Cotton Gimel. Hainu, that means Shechazav Oman Mekadesh Yisrael Vazmanim. Again, first he said Mekadesh Shabbos, Mekadesh Yisrael. He said that Mekadesh again, says the Mishnah Brura. And that's important, the Dusha note points out, because otherwise, if he just said as follows, Mekadesh Shabbos Yisrael Vazmanim, so that is worse because it sounds like one long sentence, Mekadesh Shabbos Yisrael Vazmanim, and it's not Shabbos, it's only Yom Tov. So that would be worse. As discussed in Dusha note from the Prima Godim, that in that situation, in fact, he said Mekadesh Shabbos Yisrael Vazmanim, but he's not said Mekadesh Yisrael Vazmanim. That's no good. The correction he must make must be Mekadesh and Yisrael Vazmanim with the word Mekadesh, as I said. When he rectifies it within Kedei Dibur, what does this mean? He didn't have a gap. He should go on Mekadesh Shabbos when he completed the word Mekadesh Shabbos. Rak Kadesh Shalosh Tevas. He only had the time it could take to say 3 words. Imshal Yosef Mishiyosef is a longer time space than that. He can't retract anymore. The Rosh Habracha has to go back to the beginning of the bracha because the conclusion was incorrect. Although in the middle of the bracha in Bahasiyenu and Yalav he may have mentioned Shabbos, he may have mentioned Yom Tov along the way. But if the Chasima must be correct, or at least has to be corrected properly within Teich Dibur, within no longer than the time needed to say three words. In fact, there's discussion. There are places where the Mishnah Berurah brings down 4 words. There's discussion about it here in Deushu 6 and in other places. But it has to be basically an immediate correction in order to be effective. There's discussion in the Bialoch if a person corrects himself perhaps within 3 words, but he'd already begun the next bracha. He said, Mekadesh HaShabbos. Would say, Mekadesh Yisrael V'Hazmanim. So he did within 3 words, time-wise, but he'd begun another bracha. That could be worse, as we find in other places, and it's discussed here in the Bia Halacha. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Hey. So this fellow corrected himself quickly from Mekadesh HaShabbos to Mekadesh Yisrael V'Hazmanim, and that's okay. Now the Shulchan Aruch added an interesting few words to. He said, Achari, the reason it's okay, because he knows it's Yom Tov. It sounds from the Shulchan Aruch that the correction is only valid if he knows it's Yom Tov, and he just had a slip of the tongue to say Mekadesh HaShabbos. He wasn't thinking momentarily about what he was meant to be saying. However, if a person didn't realize it was Yom Tov, he said Mekadesh HaShabbos, and then suddenly he realized, hey, it's Yom Tov, Taka. So that might be worse. It would sound like it's worse in the way the Shulchan Aruch writes this. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Hey, Achar Shu Yedei Rotzaloyma, Be'ez She'omar Baruch Atah Hashem Hoysa Kahogen Al Dasasayim Shal Yom Tov. We're talking about somebody who planned and knew he should finish Mekadesh Yisrael V'Hazmanim. Elash Achar Kach Nechshel B'Lashonah, but his tongue made a slip, and he said Mekadesh HaShabbos instead. Then you can correct it within Teich Kedei Dibur. But mashma, it's implicit, Meloshen Hazeh, from the words of the Shulchan Aruch. Timtar Be'ez She'omar Baruch Atah Hashem She'esav Shabbos. If at that point he thought it was Shabbos, even if he then corrected himself immediately, it would sound like he's not Yotza. But most poskim they hold regardless of the reason he made the mistake, whether it was a slip of the tongue, or whether he thought it was Shabbos. In all cases, because at the end of the day he's rectified it within this time frame. Also holds like this. The truth is, the case is rather strange, because we're talking about somebody who did say the entire Yom Tov middle bracha correctly, because otherwise if he didn't, as we'll see later, if the middle bracha did mention Yom Tov, so then anyway the bracha wouldn't be valid. So he said the entire middle bracha of Yom Tov correctly, although for some reason he thought it was Shabbos, and then he said Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadesh HaShabbos, and then somebody realized it was Yom Tov Mekadesh Yisrael V'Hazmanim, and we're saying that would be valid. It's just strange that he'd already said the whole Yom Tov main bulk of bracha of Yom, knowing it was Yom Tov, obviously because he said it was Yom Tov bracha. Anyway, but that was the scenario that the Mishnah Berurah was talking about. The Mishnah Berurah brings Poskim that says, regardless of why he corrects himself, if at the end of the day he corrects himself within Teich Kedei Dibur, that is okay. Says the Shulchan Aruch. V'imchol b'Shabbos, if Yom Tov falls on Shabbos. He says, not only mentioning Yom Tov and Matzos, he also mentions Shabbos as well. Here, Shabbos is referred to as Yom HaManoach, the day of Menucha, the day of rest. We'll see, Mishnah Berurah says we call it Yom HaShabbos in our davening. And he concludes, the Kadesh HaShabbos v'Yisrael v'Azmanim, both with Shabbos and with the Yom Tov conclusion together. The Kadesh HaShabbos v'Yisrael v'Azmanim. The Ein Omer Birchas Me'en Sheva, one doesn't say Malgein Avos on Friday night, which is a Yom Tov. Says Mishnah Berurah Sivkot Vov Hamon Noach. Minogein Loimer is Yom HaShabbos Hazeh, and our Pashto, different places, different customs. Our custom is we say it's Yom HaShabbos Hazeh rather than Yom HaManoach Hazeh. The Kadesh HaShabbos. Shulchan Aruch said that one concludes the Yom Tov bracha in the middle of Shmoneh Esrei with Kadesh HaShabbos v'Yisrael v'Azmanim, but the evident Hiskir Shabbos or Yisrael v'Azmanim levad. What happens if a person only either mentioned Shabbos or only mentioned Yisrael v'Azmanim but didn't mention both? So this is the tricky one. There's different opinions about this, and Achronim does he have to go back or not? The Halacha concludes if as long as he mentioned Shabbos, Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadesh Shabbos, he would be Yotzer. If he just mentioned Mekadesh Yisrael V'Azmanim and didn't mention Shabbos, that would be worse. That would be worse. Of course, this is not comparable to the original case in the Shulchan Aruch, where beforehand the person said what he said was completely wrong. It was Yom Tov and he said Mekadesh Shabbos. That was completely wrong. Here, however, he mentioned Shabbos without mentioning additionally Yom Tov. We mentioned Yom Tov without mentioning additionally Shabbos. That could be better. Specifically, if he said Mekadesh Shabbos didn't mention Yom Tov, that Achronim say is okay. But yeah, Sivkot Neches v'Yisrael v'Azmanim v'Yeshem shesarach lema Yisrael b'loivav. Some say you should say Yisrael v'Azmanim, not v'Yisrael v'Azmanim. V'chineski marshal beya of minogenic Shulchan Aruch our minogenic is Mekadesh HaShabbos v'Yisrael v'Azmanim. Sivkot and Tes. And on Pesach night, one doesn't stay Birkas and Malgein Avos. The bracha Me'en Sheva, the bracha of that is like a Chazaras Hashatz of Mariv, which is generally said on Friday night. Why not? So then it's exactly out of Mazikin, because the reason we say it generally on Friday night is because people will be left otherwise, left to shul by themselves. Davening is too quick, and they can be affected by damaging elements, and that won't happen on this night. The Pesach of El Shimurim tonight, Pesach is El Shimurim, and therefore there's no need to say in shul this Malgein Avos is Birkas and Sheva. Nevertheless, it's Friday night. Vayechulu is recited in the correct way, in a loud voice together. The Kaddish Shalom Achrav, and it is followed with a Kaddish Shalom. It's followed with a Kaddish Shalom.